Welcome to 2023's first Shruthi program, the Australia Day and Indian Republic Day celebration. Thank you very much for making your time today. We'd first like to start off with the smoking ceremony with Cedric Worko here. If you could just please follow him.
I'd like to acknowledge the Ghana people and pay respect and acknowledge their strong spiritual relationship they have with their lands and waters, as it was long ago in the creation, still is strong today. I would like to pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and acknowledge their strong spiritual connection that they still have. As we live, work, visit or travel through their country, that we travel respectfully and that we think of them always. And that as we're thinking of them, as we tread, that we tread with an open knee, an open heart, and that we tread respectfully and that we think of them always. Today I'm going to perform the smoking ceremony for you. And the smoking ceremony in our beliefs is what helps us to connect with our ancestors, but to allow them to watch over us and to guide us. The smoke goes through our miwi. Our miwi means our spirit, but the very essence of who we are as a being, our mind, body and soul. As it enters into us, it then clears our mind, body and soul, strengthens it, takes any negative energy or any worry or any pain or any suffering from us, from our miwi. Then it exits us and it goes up into the spirit world, and our ancestors will deal with it for us. But it also lets them know to continue to watch over us and guide us, but to cleanse our areas and to give us a safe passage, a safe journey as we journey through life. So today, this morning, when you follow me outside and I get it started, and then I want you to, stand not in a line, but just stand around it, and then we'll talk further about how we're going to conduct it then. So thank you. Anoninti in our language is thank you. So Anoninti. To be, to guide us and strengthen us, to cleanse our miwi, but to give us a blessing day. And we ask that if any negative energy or any worry or anything, that our old scholars will take it for us and that they'll deal with it in the Kala Nawinjiri. And that as you walk around with the smoke, I want you to wave it into you. As you're waving it into you, you're inviting our ancestors to be with you, to strengthen your miwi, your spirit. And you're inviting them to comfort you and give you a safe journey and give you a safe climb, to cleanse you, to bless you as well. But yeah, we use them today, and the plants that we use is what was given to us in the Kala Nawinjiri. Kala Nawinjiri means like the very beginning of time, the very existence of us, and what our ancestors have given us to perform. It's like their hand is on us and guiding us through life, and as we journey throughout, that the smoke stays with us, the scent is with us, and they can smell that. And they journey with us to keep us good and keep our spirit good too. And then that's why we use it for. And when we have visitors, it is a custom that visitors walk through the smoke. But it's like, when we go and, we go somewhere and, say if we completed, college, we got to sign a document, get the certificate to say we've been a part of it. The same as walking through the smoke. Once the scent is on you, you've been a part of it. It's the witness of that you've been through it, and they're there to watch over and guide you. So that's what the smoking ceremony is for. But it's also to cleanse the area of any negative energy, any spirit, any unwanted spirit, but to cleanse it and give it a good energy. To what we call in our language Nragi. Nragi means like strong and good and great. That our home, our surroundings would always be blessed and strong and good. And that's what the smoke is for too. So when we move or we enter into somebody's, like say if we move in houses, we would before we even move into the house, we would smoke the house and the whole surrounding, so that any energy from the previous owners that have been in there, that energy has travelled safely to where it needs to go, and that when we move in there, it's got a good energy, a good vibe to it, and that when we enter into it, we feel at home, at house, because that's their safe place. That's where they belong. That's where they feel relaxed and at home and at ease. With us, when we enter into our boundaries, into our clan, our ancestral boundaries, we're entering into our home. So we feel our miwi is strong and relaxed and feels at home. And every single living thing, we're connected through our miwi. Even this tree, the grass, it's all a living thing. It all needs light, water to grow. It's a living spirit, and we're connected with it. When one thing's damaged, a bit of our miwi is damaged. And so we always take care. Even when we're harvesting, we're paying respect for it. We're looking after it. And we're taking no more than what we need to make sure that, we're not taking too much, that we're being respectful, because it needs to live to continue to give. And that's in our belief system, our miwi. Our stories, our songlines, it all shares that with us. And it keeps us nuragi, and keeps us strong and good and healthy inside, So yeah, count on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Suma Rudrapatna, President of Shruthi Adelaide. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. We will begin by singing Australian National Anthem followed by Indian National Anthem. May I request all of you please stand up for this occasion. Thank you. We begin by a prayer to Lord Ganesha, remover of obstacles in life, by Srimati Soumya, Akhilesh and Adarsh. Welcome, Soumya. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Shruthi Adelaide Committee 2023 to this Australia Day and India's Day celebrations. My team, I welcome
Republic Day.
Pani, India's Republic Day, sorry. I welcome Pani Meda, Secretary of Shruthi Adelaide for 2023.
Thank you.
Arjun Shirole, Treasurer for Shruthi Adelaide. Anusha Murli Mohan, Marketing Officer. And we have Gopi Kadravelu, Fundraising Officer. Unfortunately, he is missing today. So, very nice.
Thank you very much.
Just one group photo. Just front forward, please. Ready, smile. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have been elected as a committee just over 2 weeks back. The committee has put together today's activities in such a short time frame with great enthusiasm and effort. It's my pleasure to welcome our special guests on this occasion. Honorable Lee Odnavarder, MP, Member for Elizabeth. And Honorable Lord Mayor Robert Ria, Mayor of City of Norwood and Penam and St. Peters. This event is supported by a grant from Australia Day Council. We are grateful for their support. I would like to welcome Mr. Rajendra Pandey, President Vishwa Hindu Parishad, President Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Hindu Economic Forum Australia, Governor Hindu Organizations, Temples and Associations, Forum and member South Australian Multicultural Commission to this program. Welcome. I would like to invite Narayan Rai, Shruthi past President, and committee and their families. Welcome. I would like to welcome Madhav Bhatt, President of Hindu Society. I joined with Madhav Bhatt. We also have Treasurer for Hindu Society, Raghu Ramachandran. Welcome. And my husband is also committee member of Hindu Society, Manjunath. Welcome. It's also an honor for all of us to welcome Reminjiri Narunga artist Cedric Worko, who will be conducting a workshop for all of us to learn the symbols used in Aboriginal storytelling through Aboriginal art today. So we already had a smoking ceremony that was so wonderful. Thank you, Cedric Worko, for that one. We are looking forward to your workshop presentation sometime this afternoon soon. As a confluence, we have included the Indian traditional prayer ceremony explained by Mr. Raghu Ramachandran, followed by Indian Rangoli art by Sangeeta Ramkumar. I would also like to welcome and greet all the local artists from the dance and music schools in Adelaide who have put in their time and effort to participate in this program. For those of you who are new, I would like to give a brief introduction to Shruthi Adelaide. Shruthi Adelaide is a non-profit community organization that has been promoting classical arts, predominantly Indian music and dance, in South Australia for more than 25 years. I have myself participated in Shruthi Adelaide's programs and given guidance to my students to perform on this stage for over 2 decades. The main objective of Shruthi is to promote various classical art forms and culture to develop local talents and proliferate Indian tradition and culture in South Australia. This continuous existence is testimony to its credibility and purpose of promoting professional art and multiculturalism. Shruthi Adelaide also organizes professional performances by internationally reputed artists. Performances by renowned international artists set an example of high caliber and high quality of music and dance and benefit the local communities here, local artists here in South Australia. Please become members of this wonderful organization and encourage this professional art. Now I would like to invite Honorable Lee Odnavander, MP, Member for Elizabeth, to address the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Suma. Thank you so much. Well, the acknowledgements have been done, but I do want to acknowledge Suma Rudrapatna, President of Shruthi Adelaide, and all of her team, her committee, for the work they do in our community. Of course, the Mayor, the Honourable, I think it's Honourable, neither am I, they could be on the Honourable, the Honourable Robert Breer of the City of Norwood, St. Peters, and of course all the invited guests and some of the people I've had a chance to meet. I'm sorry I can't remember everybody's name that I've met so far today. I do also want to acknowledge, and as others have, particularly on today, January 26th, that we meet today on the lands of the Kaurna people. I do want to thank in passing Cedric for your very moving smoking ceremony, and it seemed to me, and to others at the time, that there are, not only you have a unique and ancient culture, but there are also similarities that we can all embrace in terms of the way we view the world in terms of our cultures, and we can use that as a stepping stone to bring us all together. So I do want to acknowledge that we are meeting today on the lands of the Kaurna people, and I do want to acknowledge that they are the original custodians of this land and pay tribute to their elders past, present and emerging. Thank you, Suma, for inviting me along today. I'm here representing, my name is Lee Odnavander, by the way, I'm the member for Elizabeth, and I'm not honourable, but I try to be. And I'm here today representing Zoe Patterson, Minister for Multicultural Affairs, and also Ian Malinauskas, the Premier, both of whom cannot be here. You'll appreciate that today is a very busy day for both of those people, and I'm absolutely delighted to be able to come here today and represent them. I'll be brief, you'll be pleased to know, but I do just want to acknowledge not only is today Australia Day, but of course it is Indian Republic Day, and I do want to pay tribute to those Indians or those people of the Indian community in the Indian diaspora that are here with us and spread out throughout our community. It's a community that has grown significantly in the last 20 years. I think it's almost doubled in the last 15 years. In my own community in the northern suburbs, when I arrived, I was a migrant as well, and I arrived in 1981. And when I arrived in Elizabeth in 1981, everyone more or less looked like me and talked like me. They were white, English and Scottish. You very rarely heard another accent than English or Scottish or Australian accent. Thankfully, and fortuitously, that has changed over the last, particularly over the last 20 years. Many cultures have chosen the northern suburbs as their home, and I'm pleased to say that many members of the Indian community have chosen to settle in the northern suburbs, and they have greatly enriched the northern suburbs. They've greatly enriched the community in which I live and my neighbours live. And I want to thank you as representatives of that community for the things you bring in terms of culture, art, food particularly, and all the things that you bring as other multicultural communities do. So it is Republic Day and it is Australia Day, and I won't dwell on this, but Australia Day is a day for us to reflect on what it means to be Australian, particularly in a multicultural context. We should reflect on that, and we should all be proud of what Australia offers and what Australia brings. But we do also need to acknowledge, and I think this is important to say this on January 26th, we do need to acknowledge that there are those in our community, our Aboriginal friends, who many of whom find today difficult and hurtful, and as we go forward and we find new ways, as we will, to celebrate the great country we live in. We do need to acknowledge that hurt, and we do need to together find a way to move forward from it. I don't want to dwell on that. I hope you have a lovely day. I need to head back to the northern suburbs fairly shortly because I've got my own things to do there. But I do want to thank you and thank Suma and the team for inviting me along and the opportunity to come here. And I do wish you a very happy day, a happy Republic Day.
Just we would like to honor you with small memorable. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Honorable Mayor Robert Bria to address the audience. Hope I did it right this time.
Thank you very much. So it's usually the surname that people pronounce, so 10 out of 10 for you today. Thank you, and congratulations to you and your leadership team on your recent re-election as the Executive Committee of Shruthi Adelaide for 2023. And I want to acknowledge Mr. Lee Norwood, MP, Member for Elizabeth representing the Honourable Zoe Battison, MP, Minister for Multicultural Affairs, and the Honourable Peter Malinauskas, the Premier of South Australia. Also want to acknowledge Regina Pendry. Now, my day job is not mayor. My job as mayor is sort of part-time, if you like. My day job is in multicultural affairs. So me and my colleagues have a lot to do with Raj, and they speak very highly of you, Raj, and you are certainly a font of knowledge and wisdom when it comes to advice and information about the Indian community. So it's great to see you here. I also want to acknowledge all the other leaders of Indian communities here who are here today, and of course acknowledge Cedric Barco and acknowledge your presence here, Cedric. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the smoking ceremony. I was actually just across the road presiding over a citizenship ceremony just a few moments ago, so I got here just in time. But I would like to acknowledge your presence and acknowledge that we are meeting on Kaurna land, the traditional land of the Kaurna people. Pay my respects to Kaurna's past, present and emerging. Firstly, I just want to say thank you because last year I understand you were in Paradise in the city of Campbelltown, so it's wonderful that you've made your way over to the city of Norwood and St. Peter's for today's very important and very historic Republic Day and Australia Day celebration. When you think about it, it is perhaps by destiny that Australia and India share this day, at least for now. We are two great democracies in the Asia-Pacific region. We share many things in common. A love of cricket, and I know that the Australians are touring India, I think, in March, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting series. There's also defence ties through the Quad, and of course the migration of Indians coming to South Australia. I think as of the 2021 census, there were more than 44,000 Indian people in South Australia. I think the next closest is the Chinese born of 27,000. So you're well ahead in those numbers. And what we see in South Australia, as Lee touched on, is this wonderful diversity of communities, and clearly the Indian community is making its presence felt, not only in terms of numbers, but in terms of the culture, in terms of employment, skills, students coming here to study from India. Right across society in South Australia, you're making your influence felt, and we thank you for your contribution to our state today. Here at Norwood, St. Peter's, there are 1,305 Indian people as of the 2021 census, only 10 short of the Italian community, which is my community, but I'm sure by the next census you'll be well ahead of that. But numbers are really just that, they are numbers. It is the stories behind the numbers, it is the people behind the numbers, and the contribution that you make to this state. Lee touched on the enormous growth in recent years of the Indian community. I'm sure your numbers are set to grow, and I welcome that growth in our community. The Indian community has done so much for South Australia, and I know that both the state and the federal government very much value the relationship at the government level with the governments in India at the regional and the national level, but also in terms of the people-to-people relations. I think that's critically important, And we must maintain those relations, not only to share our cultures, but to enhance our shared prosperity and our regional security in the Asia-Pacific region. So I want to thank all of you for your contribution here today. I want to thank Shruthi Adelaide for the contribution you made, particularly in promoting Indian arts. And I see you have an action-packed program here today, and it's wonderful that you can have Cedric here. This coming together of cultures, that is what Australia is about. It's not just the migrant cultures that are here, it is about the modern Australia, which is our migrant story, coming together with ancient Australia, which is Cedric and his descendant story. And Shruthi seems to have hit the right mark today in bringing those cultures together so that we can continue on this journey to share together and to walk together towards reconciliation. So congratulations to Shruthi. Have a great day.
Thank you, Honourable Mayor Robert Breer, for your wonderful address to the community. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite the kids who have really, especially today, they have dressed up for this occasion. Could you please come over from this side and tell your name and then what you are dressed up. Could you please do that for us? Okay, yes, thank you.
My name is Sardar Patel and I am the Iron Man of India. I am Saranjali Naidu and I am a freedom fighter. Hi, my name is Mokshit and today I am dressed up as Nehru. My name is Neha and I am dressed up as the Indian flag color.
Oh, thank you. Now I would thank you, kids. That was lovely. Thank you for all the attention here. Sorry, I messed up the order a little bit. Now we have the Indian prayer ceremony by Mr. Raghu Ramachandran. I welcome him. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. So the job was given to me, but I decided to farm it out to 5 people in order of youngest to oldest. That is Dhruv Navani, then there is Vibha Navani, and then Anand Raghuram, Bharat Raghuram, and Malati Murali. So we have representation from, I guess, all age groups, and then I'll be here running the presentation. They will make the presentation about the prayers and also chant some of the mantras that are involved in the prayers and try to make this occasion a little more meaningful for everyone that's gathered here. Okay, so Bharat and Anand go up to the lectern. You three can stand together and chant along with them when they are ready. You can start.
Namaste. It means I bow to the divine residing within all of you. By extension, this means you and I are very much alike and are one. Thank you for providing an opportunity to speak on this day that is auspicious to both Bharat and Australia as we celebrate the anniversaries of our nation's milestones. Before we
Before we start, we call upon the forces of nature that reside all around us, represented by our devatas, for a successful completion of the tasks ahead of us. Thus, we invoke Bhagavan Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, Devi Saraswati, the deity for knowledge, learning and memory, and our gurus for guiding us in our quests and removing the veils of darkness and showing us the light of knowledge. The following 3 invocatory mantras are our prayers to these natural forces.
Gananam tva ganapatikum avamahe kavim kavinam upamashravastamam jyeshtarajam brahmanam brahmanaspadana shrinmannodibhissidha sadanam prano devi saraswati vajebhirvajinivati dhinamavitriyavatu ganeshaya namaha saraswatyai namaha shri gurubhyo namaha harihi om gurur brahma gurur vishnu gurur devo maheshwarah guru sakshat parabrahma tasmai shri gurave namaha gurave sarvalokanam bhishaje bhavaroginam nidhaye sarvavidyanam shri dakshinamurtaye namaha asmin guru charanaravindaabhyam namaha.
While watching the smoking ceremony, I am reminded of the lands of my ancestors, Bharat, and its ancient temples and homes, where yajna, or fire rituals, were conducted as a mode of communication with the divine. Fire, or Agni as we call it, one of the Pancha Bhutas, or elements, is the material medium through which this communication occurs. Mantras are the language, and what one offers into the Agni, or fire, is what one gives up or sacrifices with the word Swaha, followed by the key words Idam na mama, which means this offering belongs to you and is not mine. This brings an inner sense of detachment with the material world. When this sense of detachment is internalized, everything one does becomes a yajna or sacrifice.
Sanatana Dharma is the very basis of the nation called Bharata. The basis of our Dharma are the Vedas and other ancient texts that cover every aspect of existence. Existence not just for mankind or animals, but existence of the Mother Earth, its nations and our people. Here is a prayer sought for the stability and well-being of the nation from the Rig Vedas.
Om Dhruvande Raja Varuno Dhruvam Devo Brihaspatihi Dhruvanta Indrashcharnishcha Rashtra
May Varuna give stability. May the divine Brihaspati give stability. May Indra and Agni give stability. May the nation be held in stability. Interestingly, Varuna is the deity associated with the oceans, the sky, and the water. Brihaspati is the guru or remover of darkness and maintainer of cosmic order. Agni is the deity for fire, warmth, and energy.
The Vedas consider life as holistic and seek the blessing for material and spiritual well-being of the individual as well as the whole of humanity and all living creatures. When the king and kingdom is stable and rooted in dharma and divinity, all prosperity will find its way into that kingdom. May the divine forces bless our nations with stable governments and environment for peace and prosperity. Next, we wish to chant some lines from the Maha Upanishad, versions of which are found in the Atharva Veda and Samaveda.
Ayam bandhurayam neti ganana laghu chetasam udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam.
This is mine, that is his, is the thinking of the narrow-minded person. The wise, broad-minded, magnanimous, and those with generous hearts believe that the entire earth, or Vasudha, is one big family. The Vedas believed in universalism or universal brotherhood. What science says now, the Vedas believed several millennia ago that we are one big family.
Swami Vivekananda echoed this Vedic message in September 1893 at the Parliament of Religions, when he said, "Sisters and brothers of America, I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We are the children of God." Vedic philosophy believed in environmental friendliness hundreds of centuries before the concept was developed by the modern world. Respect to nature and to all natural resources was the first message of Vedic philosophy to mankind. Environmental friendliness not only included human beings, but it also included animals, tiny creatures, plants, and all living things, as well as all non-living things, such as land, air, water, fire, the sun, the moon, planets, etc. We can say that the Vedic society was the first environmental protection agency in the history of mankind. Finally, I bring to you Aikamatya Sukta from the Rig Veda. Aikamatya Sukta, literally hymn for unification, upholds the principle of working and living in unison with each other to strengthen the bonds of friendship and lead a fruitful life.
Om Sam Samidyuvase Vrishannagne Vishwanyarya Ilaspade Samidhyase Sanovasunyabhara Sangachadvam Samvadadvam Samvomana Amsijanataam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate Samano Mantra Samitis Samani Samanam Mana Sahachittame Esham Samana Mantram Abhimantra Eva Samanena Vo Havisha Ajuhomi Samani Vaakudis Samana Hridayani Vaha Samana Vastu Gomano Yatha Vastu Sahasati Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Come together, speak together, let our minds be all of one accord as the gods of old sat together in harmony. Let our speech be one, united our voices. May our minds be in union with the thoughts of the wise. Sharing a common purpose, we worship as one. Let our aim be one and single. Let our hearts be joined as one. United our thoughts. At peace with all, may we be together in harmony.
Now we will chant some Shanti mantras or benedictions for peace and harmony.
Om Dyav Shantirantariksam Shanti Prithvi Shantirapas Shantiroshadhayas Shanti Vanaspatayas Shantir Vishve Devas Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredhi Om Shanti 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 Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Slushtvagam Sastanubhi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vridhashravaha Swasti na Bhusha Vishwavedaha Swasti na Staksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The last mantra that we chanted means as follows.
May we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. With sense organ study and body praying, due to hearing and seeing the auspicious, may we attain the lifespan allotted by the Devas, thus finding fulfillment in our lives. May the gods bestow well-being on us. Om peace, peace, peace.
With that, we come to the end of our part in this whole ceremony. So again, I'd like to thank Dhruv Navneet, Vibha Navneet, Anand Raghuram, Bharat Raghuram and Malati, who are all students, who are all studying the Vedas through various gurus. So thank you very much, and I'll give it over to the end.
That was wonderful, Raghu and Raghu Ramachandran. It was so beautiful. I feel like I am in this different world altogether with those prayers and whistling in my ears. Wonderful. So much thank you to you all. And thank you to kids and everyone who chanted. Thank you again. Now I am lost. I would like to invite Rajendra Pandey for addressing the occasion. Thank you.
Namaste, Hari Om. Honorable Robert Bria, Mayor, and Mr. Lee Walden, the dignitaries Madhav Bhaji, Raghuram Ji, Narayan Rai Ji, Vinay Rai Ji. There are so many dignitaries there. I'll be here for half an hour. But I would like to congratulate the committee of Shruthi Adelaide for putting together this event. I think this is the first Indian Republic Day and the Australia Day event that I've come to today this morning. So definitely you're the first of the block. And it's very well organized, and I really appreciate the effort that has gone into this event. From the volunteers, as you can see, they have all put their hearts and soul into it. And the message that we've got, starting from Cedric, when he said about only take from the environment what you need, and that's so sustainable. And that's, as Mr. Lee said, it's something that goes across the cultures. And we also share a lot the Indian culture and the Italian culture. I think my wife and myself, we have conversations about, which are the most compatible cultures, and I think we say that, Greek and the Italians are very compatible, and we have similar kind of philosophies around family. And Mr. Raghuram and his team, Bharat, thank you very well done for your performance, but I think what they did, exhibited that the similarities or the universality of the Hindu culture is so appropriate that we are sitting in Australia thinking about the universal values, and that will bring prosperity to the land, and we will work together and stay together. And that is the whole theme of the Australia Day today as well. So this morning I was at the Elder Park. We had the day of mourning and morning ceremony. And we were reflecting upon the sacrifices that were made or the sufferings endured by the Aboriginal community. And that reminds us that whatever we are enjoying today in Australia is as a result of the efforts and the contributions of people throughout millennia. Starting with, I think Robert Bria was very eloquent when he described how it has transitioned from the ancient Aboriginal culture and to our values today, what we are. So, and I strongly believe that this is an ongoing story. Australia is an ongoing story. It is still emerging, and it is something that we are still watching in the future. But while we acknowledge that this land belongs to the Aboriginal people and will always be theirs, the contribution by all the immigrants that came after them, from Italian to the Irish, the Scottish, the Britishers, and the Vietnamese, Chinese, and non-Indians, we all have contributed our own little part to make Australia what it is today. And it also reminds us, I think this is the message that I personally take home, and I would like to share with you, that you all should take it back home with you, that when we carry ourselves in our lives in the future for the rest of the year, we should be conscious of what we take from Australia and make sure that we put in more than what we take. All our actions and activities contribute to what Australia is, the image of Australia and the Australians. The strength and security of Australia should be the prima facie consideration for all of us. In all our activities, if we do that, we will will become proud Australians, and we will make India proud as well. I think that is the message that we should all take back home, and I wish all of you a very happy Australia Day and happy Republic Day. Thank you. Hari Om.
Now I would like to request Madhav Bhatt, Hindu Society President, to address that gathering. Thank you.
I was just hoping that Umar doesn't call me to speak because I was not expecting. I didn't prepare anything, but what Rajendra Pandey you said, the take-home message today. More and more we meet with a different culture, we understand that there are more similarities than differences, and that brings the harmony. And today's function is the symbol of the oneness. That is, we in Sanskrit we say Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and that is today what in the smoking ceremony the powerful message is: take only what you want. I think that is so powerful to me, and I'm very thankful to Suma for inviting me. Thank you so much.
This is Meghana Meda. I want to congratulate her. She did a wonderful job coming up in just 3-4 days probably. These beautiful flyers which we all circulated around and which you are all holding. Our grade 11 student from Glenanga has done a wonderful job. I really want to So to recognize her skills, I am really presenting this certificate of achievement. I would like to call upon Lee to hand over this to her. Last but not least, I would like to call upon Narayan Rai, previous president of Shruthi Adelaide, to address the gathering.
Namaste. My name is Narayan Rai. I am dressed up like an Indian.
Like a politician.
Past president. Good day. Namaste. Magnina Budni. Welcome. I would like to begin my speech by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land I am currently on, Ghana land. I also pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging, who are the traditional custodians of the land. Next, I acknowledge our host, Shruthi Adelaide, President Mrs. Suma Rudrapatna, and committee members, Secretary Dandapani Meda, Treasurer Arjun Shirole, Fundraising Officer Gopinath Katirvelu, and Marketing Officer Anusha Murali Mohan. And our special guest, Mr. Lee Oden Walter, MP, member for Elizabeth, Robert, local council mayor Robert Priya, and Mr. Rajendra Pandey, Samyak council member and Hindu council president, and a lot of other community leaders I can see here joined to a fantastic gathering. I can see here Sadakshari here, and Kailas, and Dr. Kamalesh, Krishna Prasad, and Madhav Bhatt, many other, Sorry, I don't want, if I miss someone. Anybody else? Okay. Now, thinking about this celebration of the Australia Day, how and why? Well, when we look back, it started when Captain Arthur Phillip took formal possession of the colony of New South Wales on 26 January 1788 and raised the British flag for the first time in Sydney Cove. Initially, it was only New South Wales that celebrated the day for obvious reasons, and it was known as First Landing Day, Anniversary Day, or Foundation Day, or First Fleet Day. That was the kind of thing. Then since 1994, all states and territories marked it as a special day, Australia Day together. But I want to talk about the meaning of Australia Day for Aboriginal people, First Nations people. In 1770, Captain James Cook landed in Botany Bay, home of Eora people, and claimed possession of the east coast of Australia for Britain under the doctrine of terra nullius. That means nobody is there inhabiting. However, from the time Captain Cook's arrival, the British government acted as if Australia was uninhabited. So, instead of admitting that it was invading the land that belonged to the Aboriginal people, Britain acted as if it were settling an empty land. This is what is meant by the myth of the terra nullius, when there were already people from 65,000 years here. First Nations people generally refer to January 26 as the beginning of the invasion and subsequent dispossession. Sorry, Cedric, I have to acknowledge you. Sorry for coming late. I missed that smoking ceremony. No excuse of their country. It marks the start of much of the violence and 235 years of resistance. The First Nations people, there is little to celebrate, and it is a commemoration of deep loss of their sovereign rights to their land, loss of family, and loss of the right to practice their culture. Australia Day is 26 January, a date I am quoting. Australia Day is 26 January, a date whose only significance is to mark the coming to Australia of the white people in 1788. It is not a date that is particularly pleasing for Aborigines, says Aboriginal activist Michael Mansell. Aboriginal people call it Invasion Day, Day of Mourning, Survival Day. Since 2006, they call Aboriginal Sovereignty Day. This name reflects that all Aboriginal nations are sovereign and should be united in continuous fight for their rights. Past Prime Minister Mr. Kevin Rudd offered an apology as the first step, but there are still many steps to go. One of them is Indigenous input into decisions by the government at all levels on matters that directly affects Indigenous Australians. Nevertheless, Aborigines also celebrate this day because they survived the invasion and are still living their culture. It marks the start of 235 years of resistance. Let me read a poem. Let us read Australia Day, written by Sandra Gall Heyman. You can repeat if you like. I am not black. I am not white. I am not wrong. I am not right. I am now here, not been before. My ancestors are here no more. I am not black. I am not white. I am not wrong. I am not right. Their spirit lives in every way, always will unto this day. They are so proud and love their land, traditional custodians will stand. I am not black, I am not white, I am not wrong, I am not right. We have so much to offer all, generations past still call. This great land of ours abounds, where harmony and from far, help each other the best we can. That makes us all Australian. Let me talk about Australia Day celebration today. The National Australia Day Council, which gave the grant for us today, was founded in 1979. We use Australia Day as a day to reflect on what we have achieved and what we can be proud in our great nation. And a day for us to recommit to making Australia an even better place for the generations to come. The true meaning behind celebration is reflect, respect, and celebrate. 3 words have come to encapsulate the spirit of Australia Day. That is, 3 words. Why we should celebrate? For me, we are coming out of this pandemic COVID-19. We should celebrate. We celebrate our determination and endurance to survive the bushfires, drought, and now floods in the River Murray. We celebrate our compassion and help each other, Aussie mateship and fair go. We respect each other. Our diversity is a strength. We celebrate unity in diversity and inclusiveness, multiculturalism. We celebrate Australia's first people's survival, resilience, and enduring culture. We celebrate the many opportunities we have in Australia. We celebrate Australian values, which is freedom, respect, fairness, and equal of opportunity. It is worth celebrating because our future is bright. On Australia Day ceremonies, we welcome new citizens. We honor people who did great service to the country. On fun side, we have barbecues. And I think that those are barbecues there, Indian way. Contests. There are contests, there are parades, there will be a dress up parade now, and performances you will see, except fireworks, some places, and more. So reflect, respect, and celebrate. We are Australian, we are part of the story. Aussie. Today is also 74th Indian Republic Day. In India, Republic Day is celebrated on 26 January with great grandeur and pride. It is the day to honor the Constitution of India. Republic Day has immense importance across India. This day is celebrated by all Indians with great pride. The Prime Minister of India honors the martyrs, remarkable citizens honored by awards such as Bharat Ratna. We can say that India is our Janma Bhumi and Australia is our Karma Bhumi. Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Australia is our land, our history. We are all part of the story. Thank you and happy Australia Day. Here I would like to congratulate this team of Suma and her team, because this Australia Day, actually our committee started last year. This is the second year of celebrating Australia Day, Republic Day. Our committee started last year with all this grant. This year in the AGM we passed on to them, and they were really literally very nervous in 2 weeks how they are going to manage and do. And it's very well, I have to really thank, and it is surprising in 2 weeks they have put such a nice program. It is really nice and good effort, very nice, and that means we have handed over to a very capable committee who will give us more great programs in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rai Avare. Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rayavre. That was so nice. We are excited to see the little kids dressed up for the occasion. We are waiting to learn Aboriginal art, Rangoli art, some fun barbecue dosa making competition, music and dance performances. I once again welcome you all to this celebration, and I am sure you will enjoy all the activities planned. Without any delay, I will pass the mic to Anusha, who will conduct the event. Now we are waiting for entree item to be gathered there, so please help yourselves, and we will do the Rangoli and the Aboriginal art. I welcome Cedric to carry on the Aboriginal art storytelling. Please welcome. Okay. I wrote how to welcome Nudi Anju, Cedric Verco. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Yes. Yeah. Welcome, Cedric. Nudi Anju.
Today I'm going to be sharing with you about our traditional art practices. And in our culture is not a written culture. Our culture is done through symbolism. So, long time ago, before our crinkly followed come, the way we shared between each other, different clans, was when we painted symbolism, either on our tools, or in our rock shelters, or on the trees, carved into them. And so we're going to be sharing about that today, and how we depict them in symbols to create our stories. And through art is what connects us to country, to story, to song, but just keeping them strong for the next generation as well. So I've been an artist since I was about 8 years old. And for the last 15 years, I actually taken it on as a career. I actually started at my daughter's kindy before she went off to primary school. And I lived in Port Pirie for 10 years. And they asked me during one of the reconciliation events, because they had never heard or had an Indigenous person come in and to be able to share about our rich culture and our rich stories. And because that is Nukana country, I had to go and ask permission to share stories on their country, share stories of my country and my people. So I went into the kindy, and I done a workshop about sharing stories and about them creating an artwork that tells their story. And from that day, I've been doing it ever since. And so I've dedicated my life to maintaining, keeping strong our rich cultural history. When you walk, visit, and travel through this country, every nation has got a story to it. Wherever you tread, that place has got significance for us. Just because you don't see it in a sign, or you don't see it written on paper, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. When you travel through my country, and some of you might have been through there, Victor Harbour, Kangaroo Island, Mount Compass, down to Strathalbyn, Murray Bridge, along the River Murray. Well, we have all them townships that you find along the River Murray and along the coast, all heading through Goa, Victor Harbour, Waipinga, Cape Jervis, Kangaroo Island. My great god, my ancestor, Norwood, he journeyed down chasing Pondi, the Murray caught fish. And as he was a giant in the Kalanwinjiri, in the creation, and as he journeyed down, he tried to catch Pondi with his spear. So he chased after him in his canoe. As he was chasing after Pondi, Pondi took off flat out in front, and he tried to escape Norwood. So he flicked his tail to the left and right, and as he flicked his big tail, he made the bends. He made the cliffs. As he flicked the tail, the earth moved and made the cliffs along the River Murray today. Nurundri chased them all the way down to Pembroke. Pembroke is what we call Murray Bridge. And he threw his kaiki. As he threw his kaiki at Nurundri, it missed. So he didn't have time to pick it up. So Pondy took off further down to Tullen. Tullen is what we call Taylor Bend. Nurundri left it there and turned into Long Island. Nurundri chased him all the way down to Tullen. He threw another big kaiki spear at him. As it wounded Pondy, just pierced him. Pondy got upset, so he raised his fins and he took off in a straight stretch. So where Taylor Bend and Wellington is, there's actually a straight bit in the river there. Nurundri got down to Wellington, where Pondy then entered into Lake Alexandrina. Nurundri rested at a place called Marungun. Marungun is my family's old place, ancient place. It was actually where my great-great-grandfather's older sister seen the first non-Indigenous person to come down the River Murray in a boat. And as she had seen that person, she had thought that our old fellows who had passed before us had come back as what we call mamu, as ghosts. And they were scared. So she ran and gathered up everybody and took off into the scrub. But she was scared that these families come back different people. And so Marungun is just a little bit further down from the township of Wellington. And it's an ancient cemetery, but an ancient gathering place where Nurundri had camped. And he had made a fire. And in that fire he sent a smoke signal to Rauken. Rauken, if you probably don't know where it is, but Rauken is actually, if you look on the $50 note with my great-grandfather David Unipen on the $50 note, you see the little church next to him. And that is Rauken. That's the church that my other great-great-grandfather had built, who learned stonemasonry from a non-Indigenous missionary who built what is now the community that used to be called Point McLean. And now it's been turned back into Rauken, its original name. Rauken means the ancient place of Yananrumi. Yananrumi is where we all gather to come, to meet, to come to catch up with old friends, with our Larpinjiris and neighbours, and they all gather there to share. And our Narrandjeri belief is run by Tindali. And Tindali, we're the oldest living governance body in the world. For 60,000 years we've been run by Tindali. And Tindali is a governing body that you have elected elders like we have now in our government system, with Prime Minister, elected elders who look after different things, same as our elders, they play different roles in the community. And everybody has got to live by that Tindali. And I'm a descendant of the last elected Narrandjeri Rupli, the leader of our Narrandjeri nation. And it was at Rauken that he had worked with a missionary to bring all the Narrandjeri nation to Rauken, to keep them safe. Because at this time our land was being made into townships like Victor Harbour and Goolwa, Murray Bridge and Wellington, Taylor Bend, and it was unsafe for our people to live in these areas anymore because they couldn't work. There was no opportunities for our people. So Grandfather Pulumi, he had brought all them to Rauken so they could be safe, even though it's a long way, but it's in the heartland of our Narrandjeri Rui, our lands. Nurundri's brother Nepli had lived there, and so he sent a smoke signal to him to come and call him, to come and help him catch Pondy. Nepli got into his canoe and he poled across the Lake Alexandrina. Pondy entered into the lake. Nurundri rested for a little bit. He had gotten up and he went looking. So he come over the hill. So just up from Marungun is a hill where you can see Lake McHughes, that's named after my family. And then you see Lake Alexander. And you see Nurundri looked up over the hill and he had nothing. And he seen his brother-in-law. And he sang out, Kilirungi, Kilirungi, ma, nangataki. He said, hey, my brother-in-law here, grabbed my spear. And Narendra had thrown the magic spear. And then Narendra threw the magic spear to Nepali. Pondi was swimming flat out around the lake. Nepali got into his spear throw and waited. As he waited for Nepali and Narendra to come further, Pondi was flat out. He got in the right direction and he threw his spear at him and finally caught him. They dragged Pondi up and Narendra had come and he said, I don't need to kill you, Rangi. Thank you, my brother-in-law, for helping me catch him. So they got Pondi up onto the land. Narendra began to cut him up. They ate a bit of him. As they was eating a bit of him, they had more than they needed. It was the leftover of Pondi. So Narendra grabbed each piece and he walked over to the water, to the Murundi, we call them, the water, and he put it into the water. As he put each piece into the water, he said, Nang Pulaki, Nang Pondi, Nang Tukuri. What he's saying is you will be catfish, you will be bony worm, until he had created all of our fish in our waterways. When he had seen the last big piece, he picked it up and he put it into the water and he said, Nang Pondi, you will continue to be the maripod fish. And if you've never caught a maripod fish and never seen how big, well, you probably won't get as big as they used to be 50, 60 years ago. But now they still get to a real big size. And he gets to the same size as his ancestor used to be. And they get really big. Narendra then looked around and he was looking for his family who had fled further and gotten lost. So he said, I'm going to go now, my brother. Thank you. I'm going to look for my family. So he gathered around the lake and he stopped at places like Malang, Clayton, Meningi. As he stopped there, he gave us Narendra that place as home. He gave us that place to continue to live on. He created them areas for us. Then he went to the southeast. As he had seen tracks, he crossed over the lakes, he got to Kingston. He had seen Pumpurri. Pumpurri was all painted up. And he was an angry old man who didn't like any visitors. Pumpurri, he stood there when Narendra had knocked at him, seen him, and he waved his club around. And he was warning Narendra not to come any further. But Narendra sung out, Kilui, he's saying, hey, you seen my wives and my family? But Pumpurri, he didn't speak back. He just kept waving his club around. Because he didn't like that Narendra had entered without announcing himself into his territory. So Pumpurri, as Narendra looked at him, he went to turn away, and as he went to turn away, Pumpurri threw his club at Narendra and hit him in the shoulder. As he hit him in the shoulder, Narendra turned back to face him and started to talk at him. He started laughing. And he was, he never hurt me, Pumpurri. So they began to fight using magic and tool, weaponry. Narendra had won, and he gathered Pumpurri up and he put him down by the beach. As he put him next to the yellow larui, he then turned him into stone. When he had turned him into stone, he went to walk away, but some magic was stopping him. Narendra looked back and looked around and he seen, I've already turned Pumpurri into stone. How come his magic is so powerful? What he had seen was his headband, the ochre, the blood that was on the ground. So Narendra scraped it all up, grabbed it, and he burnt it. As he had burnt it, the magic was destroyed. Narendra walked along the Puram, what we call the Puram. As he had then walked along, he rested, he banged his club into the ground, and he made water soakages to drink from. At Narendra means Narendra's home camp. He bent down as he made a soakage, and he bent down and bumped his head, and there was a rock that had an indent of a forehead in it that is no longer visible today, sadly. Narendra walked down to Kuriak. Kuriak means bull.
was the clan that lived there. And that was my family's clan. When they had gotten there, he's in Jacketary, where the Signal Point Art Gallery is. Have you been to Goa? You been to the Signal Point Art Gallery? Yeah. So that's where he had then created before he travelled on to Kangaroo Island and went off to the spirit world. So we're going to be sharing a bit more about the story when we get started painting, and I'm going to share with you about the symbolism. And what you're going to do is create your story, create your connection, your belonging through using our symbols to represent it. So thank you for being such good commoners, and I shall knock at you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. This is a small token. Yeah. We look forward to your workshop now. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. Namaste everyone. It's always a pleasure to be invited by such a wonderful organization that is Shruthi Adelaide. Today we are gathered here in celebration of course the Indian Republic Day, and also in remembrance of Australia Day, which is, from many different perspectives, it means a lot of different things. Today also happens to be Vasant Panchami, which is very, very special in the Vedic culture, celebrating the goddess of knowledge, Saraswati. And I think it's a universally applicable concept that is aligning with Saraswati, because Saras is essence, Swat is the self, and Ti is an attribute of the energy that is present around us and within us. So really Vasant Panchami is one of the days that we align with the essence of goodness and divinity within us that extends beyond us and is all around us. So in celebration of this beautiful occasion, I'd like to offer Devagana Seva in praise of that great divine energy, praying for us all. Before I begin, I of course pay my respects to my gurus, my mother and Guru Dr. Anjali Ganesan Umesh, my grandmother and my Guru Srimati Savati Ganesan, and my Guru from the Gadag Gharana Hindustani classical music, Ustad Gunda Paja.
Viraj अष्टसिद्धिदायिनी हिरण्मयी परशुभवाचिनी परमहंसिनी तव पदकमलं शरणं सततं भवास्तुभ्यं श्रीचक्रसारिणी परयोगिनी सरस्वती वागीश्वरी विविधवरदायिनी विमलनयनी गुरुरूपिणी विविधवरदायिनी विमलनयनी गुरुरूपिणी ज्ञानमूलमालिनी कल्पनारहित सर्वाकर्षिणी शारदे शारदे सेवितं सततं विविधवरदायिनी विमलनयनी गुरुरूपिणी ज्ञानमूलमालिनी कल्पनारहित सर्वाकर्षिणी शारदे शारदे सेवितं सततं नमस्तुभ्यं श्रीचक्रसारिणी परयोगिनी सरस्वती वागीश्वरी
Thank you all, and thank you, of course, to the wonderful Shruthi Adelaide Committee for having us all together so we can share and exchange good thoughts and good energy. Thank you. Thank you, Daksha. As usual, it was so beautiful to listen to. So just a few housekeeping rules for everyone. You've got exits on your left and right, and there are toilets there as well in that room. We just like to take a 15-minute break now. If you can all go outside and eat some delicious food. We'll set up some tables for the workshop, the Rangoli workshop and the Aboriginal painting workshop. If you could come back and gather here in 15 minutes, that would be great. Suma would like to say a few words.
Now we have some workshops, Rangoli and dosa competition and Aboriginal art, everything. But before dosa competition, I will tell you something. Please don't get hurt. Please don't come near the dosa randomly. Please take care. But we have a first aid officer here, Anand Venkatesh, and we have some doctors here, GP Kishara and Dr. Suman, Guru. Everyone is here, but still, please take care. Avoid fire and especially take care of kids. So but enjoy. Yeah, we want to enjoy the dosa competition. So those of you who are about kids want to really learn about Rangoli, somewhere here, and Aboriginal art here. But dosa competition outside. Please help yourself with entree and then dosa competition. Yeah, please.
The bush rosemary, so herbs, birds flying, camps, bush apple is what we call monthly. It's actually a little blueberry-like size, but it tastes like apple. Traveling or waterhole, meeting or traveling to and from places. We've got Pondy the big married codfish. We've got a man sitting with his spear, a person just sitting on his own, a woman with a pullman and digging stick. We've got the spear, club, boomerang. We've got the bush tucker, so this is bush peach. We've got Narundri, the man is actually laying down at this moment. We've got our footprints, and this one at the end is gathering me when we're gathering. So it can represent all of you sitting around the table, painting and sharing together. And then on this one, we have more birds flying. We've got the sand hills or the beach that can represent. We've got clouds and rain, the sun, the moon, the star, a person or child significant to you. What story you would like to tell? Do you have a Dreamtime story of your own? Do you have, feel free to sit down. Do you have, a story from your motherland, from, where your family originated from? Do you have a Dreamtime story to that place? And how you want to represent that in your artwork, telling your story, using the symbols to represent it. Them symbols don't only mean what's written on there, they can mean multiple things. If you've done the camp with the shelter around it, that can mean your home. It can mean, your holiday house. It can mean a building that you work at. It doesn't have to mean that camp, where that particular place is. If you're painting the tools can represent the tools that we use today to help us paint, paintbrushes, paint, and all them things. Yeah?
Can you write a story?
You can write a story, but you've got to use the symbols to represent it. What I brought on with me today, is Cry. Cry is the rainbow serpent. He's the snake that comes out of the ground and he flies around and he dives into the ground and he makes water holes and he makes places for us. Cry, the head, with the water symbols representing the waterways of Narendri. We're water people. We come from fresh water and salt water. We're surrounded by rivers, lakes, the Coorong and the ocean. And we belong to water. Water is our life. If our hands go dry, our miwi goes dry. We can no longer carry on. When the drought came, our land was suffering, we were suffering spiritually too. So we're water people. Everything about our stories represents water. There's water in every single story of ours. And I'll leave this on the table that you can have a flick through. But it was actually a mural that represented all of our stories to Narendri and the serpent and where you come from. So in each part of the painting, it's got different meaning.
our artistic director Ramesh Menon, supported by our drummer Kushal Thakkar. Ramesh is a musician who is well versed in many musical instruments such as the guitar, keyboard. He plays drums as well. He plays violin, mandolin. He is a vocalist as well. Kushal Thakkar is a drummer. He has been performing for many years. It's one of the ace drummers, I would say, in Adelaide. We would see them performing in various bands and other stuff as well, other than Kalalaya's performances. They do collaborate with many other groups as well. Today, Ramesh and Kushal will be performing some patriotic songs just to mark the Indian Independence Day as well as the Australia Day while we celebrate it. Thank you. That was so wonderful and apt for the occasion. And I feel like singing, but unfortunately we have to do other things. So I was so involved in your music. We want to hear more and more. And thank you for this time. Thank you so much. And Kushal, thank you so much, Kushal. It was wonderful to meet you. Thank you. Now, dosa competition winners. Can I request Deepa to come over here? So, Deepa, Malati, Manjunath, Rama, Prasad. All these were really judging you all when you did the dosa. I think we all had a bit of fun. What do you think? Yeah. I wanted to do, but unfortunately had no time. But definitely next time. Yeah. So first winner goes to.
We'll go with the categories first. So, no oil or less oil or optimal oil, whatever you call it, goes to Deepa. Oh yeah, congratulations Deepa. That's well done. So the next one was just based on the crispiness, goes to Raghuji. Is he not here? On his behalf, is there anyone else? His wife is there, Lata is there? So this means every other day dosa is made in his house, he has to prepare. Lata, make note. Okay. That's good.
I didn't know that you were very good in the Indian prayer, but you are good in dosa.
The next one is next one there was creativity, shape, whatever, and that goes to. So there was a tie for creativity between Murali and Praveen. So creativity goes to Praveen. Congratulations to you.
This is not fair. You used my tawa.
Congratulations.
I'd like to thank my wife for letting me into her kitchen. and also Suma's tawa.
Okay, so the overall prize goes to Murali. So the tie was between Murali and Praveen for creativity, but we just wanted to split it between. So creativity was Praveen and we give the overall. Well done with his creativity as well. Thank you to all the judges, and we enjoyed as much as you all making the dosa. Thank you, Suma.
Yeah. Thank you, judges. You took really lot of interest in judging the competition. I may request Malati, Prasad, Manju, Rama. Please come here, please.
Dosa competition, and congratulations to the winner as well. I'd now like to please ask Priya Menon to introduce her dance and her dancers.
Good afternoon once again. So we're back again with two dances this time. So after the song is done. Okay. That wasn't me, so that's fine. So we start with Vande Mataram in Mohiniyattam style. This is a song that is specially composed for Kalalaya by Pandit Ramesh Narayan. So it's a patented song, so I would request people to not go Facebook Live, as I've spent lakhs of rupees on the song. So, and then followed by Kathak Tarana, composed by Pandit Rishiwati. So the dancers for the Mohiniyattam is myself Priya. We've got Pooja, Meenu, Neha, and Risha. The dancers for Kathak are Akhil, Shine, Harvi, and Anna. So we present two dancers now. Thank you. Come on.
Thank you, Priya. That was so lovely and opt for the occasion again. And I requested her something unique. Please do it. She specially choreographed for this one in just 3 days. Give her a big hand. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Suma, for giving us that challenge. And I must thank my girls. There's the school holidays, last week of school holidays. Instead of enjoying, they were in the studio learning this dance.
semi-classical and classical fusion. They've been teaching and performing under all age groups and have organized and choreographed a number of performances and programs at Adelaide. Classes are available at 4 locations: Woodville, Norwood, Mitchell Park, and Plimpton.
Hello everyone. When the performers are getting ready, there are some membership forms here, and also online. If you go to the website, there is an online Shruthi membership form. Please take the membership and encourage this beautiful art. And then it's very easy online. You can just fill up few details, that's all, and you can pay online. It's very easy. You don't have to do manual paper copies anymore. Thanks for that. Please become members of Shruthi.
So we'll just give you a brief description of the first dance. It's called the Krishna Leela. Krishna Leela explores the theme of motherhood through the story of Lord Krishna. Little Krishna is the darling of Vrindavan, the land of peace and tranquility, which is constantly threatened by the malice of the evil king Kamsa. While Krishna is busy with his endless pranks and mischief accompanied by his friends, Kamsa remains restless, for he is aware that Krishna is his nemesis. Putana, as instructed by Kamsa, disguises herself as a young, beautiful woman and tries to kill little Krishna by breastfeeding poison milk. However, Krishna suckles her milk as well as her life. Once the children saw and declared it unfair, so they yelled to Krishna's mother that he was eating dirt. The fruit, being plucked directly from the ground, was unwashed. She scolded him and demanded that he opens his mouth and show her. As he did so, she saw in his mouth the overwhelming vastness of the universe. Performers Deepa Ranjit and Lakshmi Nanda Ranjit. That is so beautiful. Thank you very much. I think after listening to those words spoken by me, I heard those words and I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, that is so beautiful. I understand what you're saying. They have another dance by her students. The performers are Binam Chandran, Hakimol Praveen, Swapna Satish, Roshni Martin, with kids Atmika Praveen, Alna Ajay, and Gauri Nanda Ranjit. So this will be the last performance for the evening.
Thank you, Deepa. Please wait for the vote of thanks. I will request Swani to come over and give vote of thanks. You all would have enjoyed the function. I can sense that. There were some competitions, there were programs, there were some speeches. So I think everything was there. I really thank each and every one of you. Please enjoy the rest of the day. But before you go, there are some artists. Articles are available for sale if anyone wants to buy, or most of them are in art galleries if you want to buy any one of them. And kids have done a beautiful job in really doing the original art. I can see some of the beautiful pictures there. Thank you, kids, really done a good job. And we are continuing the art for more time, little bit more time. But formally, Pani will thank you all for the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. President. I should say Linamani as first starter. We are on this land, ready to acknowledge and respect this place where we have a shelter to stand up and talk to each other. And along with that, I need to say, first big sentence, thank you very much for you all coming into this first program of us. And we are very happy to see so many people here. I need to say thanks to one by one. It's going to take 3.5 hours. But I will say to start up, our dignitaries, including our Aboriginal indigenous artist, Cedric Wako, is outside here. And also we respectfully give thanks to our MP who attended this busy schedule in the last minute. And also we extend our thanks to our Norwood and St. Peter's Mayor. They both stood here and gave us a speech in relation to what our both countries' commitments are and people are here. After this, we are extending our thanks to all the artists who came here on this stage, who sung beautiful songs like Ganesh Shruthi from Soumya and Daksha Swaminathan for her recital. And also we extend our humble thanks to the dance artists from Talala and also Deepa group. Give a big hand to the Krishna's segment. Deepa and Ranjit. Yeah, that's a big thank you. And also we extend thanks to all our Shruthi members
to be members and future members, and also their kids and their families who came from India as part of our family. They engaged with us. So many of them, they spoke to me and they said they're happy, and I want to say thank you very much. We need to extend thanks to Cedric Worker as well. His family came and displayed the artifacts for us. And also they engaged with the kids to show the indigenous art, dot painting and arts and things. We are very thankful for that, Cedric. We will be hosting programs similar to this in coming days, and we will communicate to you in the coming newsletters and the communication. We would love to see you all like this in all the programs and all the functions. Thank you very much.